Hi, my name is Willan Ziada, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed singer-songwriter, Gem Chantelle. But she said I could call her by her real name, Emily. For more on Gem Chantelle, you could read more about her right below this video. But in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the amazing talent of the one and only Gem Chantelle.
Baby blue city views. I thought the last time was the last time. Now you're watching me put my hands on you, filling up my glass with cheap wine. And I know we shouldn't let it get this close, but we push and pull until we overflow. When all of our problems spill into tomorrow, will you be here in the morning? Or will you leave them on the floor for me to clean? It's easy to solve them when bodies are talking and we're living in the high. But it's only for tonight. It's a long, long, long way down. Down. It's a long, long, long way down. Down. Picking fights. We're both wrong, but it feels right. And now we're going at it like we never left. And you'll go too far just to heal the scar. Light me up and put me out like a cigarette. And now we're going up in smoke, but we let it burn. 'Cause when you touch me, swear I'm spinning with the earth. When all of our problems spill into tomorrow, will you be here in the morning? Or will you leave them on the floor for me to clean? It's easy to solve them when bodies are talking.
Well, hello, Emily. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing so much better now that I'm speaking with you, with your stage name, Gem Chantelle. Emily, you are in New Rochelle, right around the block from where I grew up in Pelham Manor, but we will not, believe it or not, make this about me. I want to make this about you. Emily, when did you realize that you had such an amazing singing voice?
Thank you. I didn't really, probably until I was like 15 or 16, because I was always singing as a child and I took lessons and then I started recording like in studios, but I could not listen to my own voice at all. I didn't think it sounded good. I was so cringed out by it. And that lasted until I was around like from 11 to 14, I would say. And then I guess I got used to the sound of my voice. And from there, I was able to kind of make some progress.
You have such an amazing voice, and I'm just so curious after listening to it for a week now, and I'm so grateful that I've been doing that.
you.
Who were your inspirations and who are your singing inspirations?
Growing up, I listened to a lot of Blondie. That's what my dad would play a lot in the car. So I listened to her. And then as I started listening to my own music, Rihanna was a big one. Ariana Grande was really big when I was like 13, 14. So definitely her. And now it's more like Sasha Sloan. Lolo Zouai is a big one. Gracie Abrams.
I love it. But what I love so much about what you do, Emily, is that, and I can hear it in your music, and people that don't know who you are, they can read more about you right below this video, is that you have this beautiful fusion of a lot of the inspirations you mentioned, but it's also through your POV, your viewpoint. I'm curious where that comes from in terms of like this kind of like unabashedness that kind of comes out when you're in Gem Chantelle mode. Do you feel like you go from like a Clark Kent to Superman type switch when you're on stage?
On stage, yeah, I guess. I mean, I try not to think about it too much because I don't want to make myself.
I know, Will, I don't think about this stuff, Will, but this is what I think about when I'm listening, because as a director, I'm like at 30,000 feet. I'm like, oh my God, she's like, and I'm listening, you're so composed right now. And I'm like, when I hear your music, I'm like, oh my God, she's so badass.
No, I mean, I just kind of do it and whatever happens, happens. I try not to like put so much emphasis on like being on stage or anything like that. I kind of like to think of it as I'm hanging out with the audience, not so much like I'm performing for them. We're kind of all in a room together and having fun
That's
type of
that's
thing.
so amazing. Where did this kind of like, I don't want to say old soul, but this maturity come from? Because you're so
Aw.
young, but yet you have such in like a mature, like restrained yet beautiful
Aw,
essence
thank
about you.
you.
Have you been
Um,
told that you're an old soul? Have you been told that before?
I've been told that I'm mature for my age. I mean, I don't know. I guess I've always kind of been that way. I was always very reserved as a kid in school, and it took me a while to find like my group of friends that I clicked with. Um, I don't really know where that comes from.
Well,
I
I
wouldn't say
wanted
I'm like more mature than anyone else my age. I don't know, but
well, I do want to know where the name Gem Chantelle came from.
so Gem was a nickname that my sister gave to me. Like I don't really know where she came up with it. She would just call me Gem growing up. Um, so that's where Gem came from. And originally it was just Gem, but there's a lot of gems out there. So we had to change it to make it a little bit more original. So Chantelle was just, I liked the name and I thought it sounded cool. So we put that together.
I think it sounds awesome.
Thank you.
Listen, this has obviously been a really tough time for all people, but especially artists. I'm curious to know what you've been able to do during these 18 months in terms of your art, but maybe also looking within as we look forward, you know, the type of music and the type of messaging that you want to continue to put out there. Has that kind of solidified for you over these last 18 months? And what are you looking forward to in terms of what you maybe have been working on and that you're going to be putting
Yeah.
out?
Um, yeah, it has definitely been weird and there's been a lot of adjustments that I've had to make. Luckily, I was able to write and record an EP. So that was I had been working on that since last September and I finished that project up in around April. So now I'm working on a visual side to the EP. So it'll be like a 20-minute long music video. And that should be dropping either just before, probably early in the new year.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, I'm
Well,
excited about that.
what
Um,
else?
I'm back in the studio now working on some new music. So once that EP drops, I'll have more stuff to follow up with it a couple months afterwards. I've been performing, which has been cool because I wasn't able to for a long time. I did a show at Berlin Underground in the Lower East Side. I did another one at Arlene's Grocery, and I have one coming up on October 14th, so I'm excited for that.
Where's the one on October 14th?
It's at Berlin again.
I love it.
Back there. Yeah. And I have some cool stuff coming up. I just put a deal together with Major Stage. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Yeah, so we'll be working on some projects together, and I'm looking forward to that too.
Well, listen, Emily, AKA Gem Chantelle, you are certainly a star on the rise, an incredible talent. And again, I want to remind all of our viewers for more on the incredible Gem Chantelle, or just Emily, because we're friends now. You can read more about her right below this video. Emily, thank you so much for your time. And I'm so grateful we are now connected. And my dog, by the way, is excited
Aw,
that you're
mine's
working
here
with it
too.
too.
Cute. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Bye.